Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Rainbow Six Siege video here on the channel. With Operation Heavy Metal being released as of last week, I wanted to give you guys some good tips with the new operator Ram. In today's video, I am going to be giving you 3 tips on how to play Ram in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we get started, if you are new to the channel, consider dropping a sub as it would greatly help achieve my goal of 5k subscribers. And if this video helped you learn something new about Ram, leave a like down below and drop a comment if you're excited for Ram to join the Rainbow Six team. Some background information about Ram is that she's from South Korea and is a part of the Red Hammer faction group. She's 37 years old and her full name is Bo Ram Choi. I probably butchered the last name, I'm very sorry, but Bo Ram is pretty sick. Ram has one of the best soft breaching gadgets in the game and will cast shadows over Buck, Ash, and Zofia. She has 3 boogie drones that can tear up any soft structure that is below the drone, making the defenders extremely uncomfortable. To use her gadget, you'll need to toss the boogie drone on the ground, then activate the drone via remote control. This will enable the drone to autonomously drive in a straight line or curve depending on which option you set, and as it rolls through the map, it will rip up any soft structure or gadget that is placed in front of it or below the saws. Ram is a 3 health, 1 speed operator equipped with some very interesting weapon choices. For her primary weapon choice, she has one of the most iconic weapons in Siege, and that's the R4C from Ash. And as for her secondary option, she has the LMGE from Zofia. Both of these choices are extremely good, especially considering the R4C is allowed to have the 1.5 scope or the 2x scope. That's just absolutely insane. As for her secondary option, she has either the MK1 9mm pistol that's shared on Buck and Frost, or the ITA 12S shotgun that's also seen on Mira and Jackal. This shotgun can help provide more soft breach capability as if she didn't have enough. For her gadget utility, she has the option to bring flashbangs or smokes. She used to have hard breaches instead of smokes, but they decided to put smokes for a good reason. But with the basics out of the way, let's get right into the 3 tips on how to play Ram in Siege. Tip number 1, utilizing the boogie drone. To get the most out of the boogie drone, you need to understand how it works and what options you have when using the device. One of the biggest things to note about Ram's drone is the ability to direct it to whatever direction you would like to set. Once you toss the drone on the ground, you will see a bright blue line that comes out in front of the drone. This will provide you with the sense of direction on which way the drone will head. Since the blue line is your director, you will have the ability to choose from 2 options when tossing the drone down. Number 1 is directing the drone in a straight line, or number 2, directing the drone to curve either left or to the right. You need to set this choice before you activate the drone because once you activate it, there's no going back. You will not be able to change the direction after it's set. The drone will leave a wake of destruction behind it as it rolls to its max duration length of 10 meters. When using the drone, consider where you are and what you want to achieve as Ram. Just like Flores, since you're limited to that timer/duration length, you need to figure out which vertical play spots you want to open up and how. Since the boogie drones can drive directly through soft walls, castles, shields, and every other defender gadget, she can be played relatively safe from and outside the objective. Take the coastline door on the hookah balcony for example. In this clip, I am Ram who wants to get inside sight to clear utility and make a distraction. I can angle myself and the drone horizontally to the door and select the left turning option to stay out of the enemy line of sight. This eliminates the higher probability of getting shot through the door since you're not directly in front of it, but instead tucked more to the side. So you can allow your drone to curve in, hit the door, hit any barbed wire that may be on the other side of the door or any other defender gadget, rip up the floor and let it roll. It's also going to make a lot of noise for the defenders, so they're not going to be able to hear anything else coming from, say, a side push. The boogie drones are extremely good, and it's important not to waste the drones just like Flores. Understanding the drone is one of the first things you're going to want to learn when playing Ram. The second thing that you're going to want to learn is tip number 2, and that's Ram's loadout/playstyle. Like I stated in the beginning, Ram has the option to bring the R4C from Ash, which is the first time that gun has ever been used on someone else, or Zofia's LMGE, which is also the first time that gun has been used on someone else. Both of these weapons are polar opposites in terms of playstyle, but provide different ways to play her kit. With the R4C's high damage, high fire rate, and minimal recoil, you will most likely use this when being aggressive and really trying to push that vertical control. With the R4C in hand and the ability to choose flashbangs plus the MK1 pistol, this kit provides a lot more of an aggressive attack playstyle. On the other hand, if you choose to be a more passive kit, you can have the option to be a more supportive operator by running the LMG, smokes, and the ITA 12S shotgun. With the option to run the LMG, you can provide plenty of cover fire and noise disruption when unloading the 150 round mag, while also providing smoke cover for plants. Since she has smokes and an LMG, covering plants can be one of the best features solely for the amount of noise you can cause as Ram. Between her drone, smokes, and the LMG, she can pretty much eliminate the defender's ability to hear plants. Like I said, with that drone rolling through, that creates so much noise that it's almost impossible to hear a diffuser plant. Pair that with a gun that has 150 rounds and smokes going off, it's virtually impossible to hear anything going on with Ram. With whatever loadout and playstyle you'd like to choose for Ram, She is a fantastic soft breach operator, but can also be a great support player with noise cover and smokes. How you play the game will determine the loadout you will choose with RAM, but with that said, that's going to bring us into the third and final tip for this video. Tip number 3, destruction and counters. As I stated in the beginning, RAM has an incredibly large capability for soft breach destruction. She outshines every operator who can bring soft breach to the team. Ash, Buck, Sledge, Zofia, they all get overshadowed by her. Take for example Sledge. It takes Sledge almost 20 seconds and 7 hits from his sledgehammer to do exactly what RAM does with one of her drones. The major difference is RAM does not have to put herself at risk for any nitros or impacts or bullets from the floor. The drone can do this all with no issues. The Boogie drone can also destroy every single defender gadget on the defender team. This includes barbed wire, electrical barbed wire, castles, shields, maestros, alibis, ADSs, thorns, mutes, azamis, frostmats, goyos.
And there comes a giant fish!
The drone has a fairly large radius of destruction vertically and horizontally. The path of destruction is roughly 3 to 5 times the size of the drone. If the drone drives through a wall, it takes about 3 hits to get through it, and it will make a crouch, walkable hole that you can actually rotate through. The first initial hit breaks the wall a little bit, the second one clears the debris, and the third hit makes it clean, allowing you to rotate through and the drone to pass through onto the other side. Another key destruction point I wanted to point out, and I almost forgot to add it in the video, is basically Boogie hot breaching. So what I mean by this is any soft barricade that's on the map, whether it's a window or a door, what you can do with RAM is you can toss the drone at the soft barricade, which instantly breaks it, allowing you to pretty much hot breach a soft barricade. This is very helpful with multiple members of your team because what you can do is just toss it at the door and everybody can rush through. You don't have to shoot it, you don't have to buck it, you don't have to ash charge it, no explosives, you just toss the drone, you can pick the drone back up and be on your way. With the destruction covered, let's get into some counters. This will be fairly short since there's not many counters to her drone at all. I'm not sure what the devs were thinking, but the first major counter to her drone will be the red canister on the back of the drone itself. Similar to Mira's canister on her windows, when you shoot the red gas canister, it will stop the drone immediately, then causing it to explode in its tracks. The second major counter will be explosives, and this includes impacts and nitros. Any of these explosives in the vicinity will explode the drone, stopping all actions. There are only 3 counters, and I find this to be a problem with RAM, since the drone is a combustion engine like they stated in the trailer. Once active, Mozzie pests and mute jammers will not be able to stop it, as well as Aruni gates. Before the drone is activated, it is counted as an electronic device, so mutes will be able to jam it only before it's activated. So take for example, you throw it into a window and it lands in a mute. She will not be able to trigger the drone since it's caught in that mute charge. But if the drone is activated outside the mute jammer, then rolls into the jammer of the radius,
What?
it will not be able to stop it either. So it's a little bit of a weird scenario. I honestly think it should be stopped, but like they said, it's a combustion engine, so it can't really be stopped. It's not an electronic gadget, only when it's not deployed. I did some big brain thinking, and the only counters I can think of to stop this drone would be Maestro's Evil Eye shooting the canister. So if you do put it up in a high surface area, you might be able to shoot it, but again, it's on the back side of the drone, so if you're facing the front of it, you're not going to be able to shoot it. Some possible future counters I would like to see for RAM is Aruni gates destroying the buggy, Kapkan traps being triggered, exploding the drone. If it does drive through the lasers, that would be really cool. Shout out Kudos, I saw that on Twitter. And Mozzie being able to grab one of the drones and make it null, similar to how Flores' RCE drones act. Once trapped by the Mozzie, it just breaks. That's kind of how I would like it to be, but let me know what you guys think down below. With Ram being the newest operator to the Rainbow Six Siege team, she's an extremely potent soft breacher, and I have a feeling she's going to get some nerfs at some point. She has too many positive traits and minimal downsides to her gadget. I think with the mid-season patch for Year 8 Season 3.2, she will get some sort of change relating to her gadget, like new counters or some direct change to her drone. I honestly think they had 4 at first, now she has 3. I think she should have either 1 or 2 and have the ability to reset the drone and use it again. Almost like refilling it. Since the device is a combustion engine, she should be able to go up to it and fill a little gas in it, something like that. So it gives her a risk to actually continue using her ability. I think it's just too easy to toss the drone in and click it and let it run. You could just run away. Or you could just toss the drone down, run all the way across the map, and then activate it. There's no range limit to it. So I find it a little overpowered in a sense of trade-offs there. There's no negative downside to tossing the drone down. And even for the defenders, if they do see the Boogie drone and they want to get rid of it, they have to risk throwing a nitro or an impact at the ceiling, which is going to expose the site. So it's just it's a downside to the defenders when they try to destroy it. So I think there needs to be some more counters there. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments about RAM. I hope this video helped provide you some insight on how to use RAM. And if it did, consider dropping a like down below, as it greatly helps push this video into YouTube's algorithm. With that said, I hope you guys have a good night, night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Take care, brush your hair, be kind to one another, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Adios.